I'm going to let the switch timer call off. Send up Big Squidward. The hardest move left in the game will be the Sky Attack, so stay in school, kids. LedsenKatt. We catch back onto the Quagman. The opponent not wanting to get farmed down, pivot back out into Azumarill. Unfortunately, Azu isn't the fairy we're looking for. Wigglytuff, I'm hunting you, buddy. However, Tentacruel, the absolute wall to this energy. The opponent fires off the play rough. Tentacruel says, trainer, that isn't going to get the job done. We farm all the way down, leave with the Scold, and that is going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. Welcome back to the channel. If you've been around my channel for a while now, for the last 3 or 4 seasons, outside of the first week, I have not played Open Great League whatsoever, and that is because I've been getting insanely tilted with losing to the toxic teams. If you're wondering what I mean by a toxic team, a prime example of this is going to be Bastiodon, Victreebel and Wigglytuff, a brain-dead team where people are literally trying to win via alignment only. The Shadow Core of Ferrathorn and Tentacruel, of course, has play into the entirety of that team. I didn't come up with this core myself. Huge shout out to the GOAT. My Discord moderator, my favourite battler in the world, ex-Boston. I saw him run this team on my Discord. So if you want to join the Discord, of course, it is linked down below. However, Boston was actually running Wish Daddy Cash rather than the Quagman. We're going to go with an unpopular opinion here. Quagman is the best mud boy in the Great League. It isn't Wish Daddy Cash. Wish Daddy Cash relies upon RNG. Quagman relies upon good energy management. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we lead our Shadow Bush into Licky, far too thicky. If you're wondering where the nickname came from, on paper, this is a good matchup for us, as we do resist both Body Slam and Power Whip. However, this thing is so thick, hence the thicky nickname. We managed to force a Protect Shield, land the Power Whip, doing some decent chip damage, putting it into a range where Quagman certainly can handle it, so we pivot into Tentacruel, drawing out Wish Daddy Cash. This isn't as bad as you might think. We're going to be able to land the Scold. Scold puts this thing into a range where Quag can definitely handle it. However, we've still got some Ferrathorn left, so we're just going to allow Tentacruel to go down, force the opponent to throw onto our prickly bush, and then with Quagman in the back, it's going to be no grass, no problem. The opponent going to be forced to throw Mud Bomb, secures the knockout, we can send out the Quagman. Quagman gets a huge running start, and we've got 2 Protect Shields too high behind. The opponent waiting out their clock. Out comes Charger Bug. The opponent then pivots back out into Licky, far too thicky. The opponent isn't in Aqua Tail range. We full send the Stone Edge. Get that Licky, far too thicky, off my screen, and this is going to be game over. Quagman with 2 Protect Shields can't lose this matchup. I've got no idea why the opponent isn't top left in. We shield the first move, encouraging them to concede the match. The opponent wants that work, so fuck it. Quagman will most certainly give it to them. This move, I'm not even going to shield. Quagman easily survives an X-Scissor, reaches the Stone Edge, and Stone Edge is going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, our target has been acquired. That stupid brick wall Bastiodon. I'm pretty certain I know what's in the back. We're going to throw 7 Bullet Seeds. Look to catch the Flamethrower onto our Say Switch of Squidward. Looking to draw out Victreebel so Quagman doesn't have to see it. Out comes Vic. I think I definitely should Acid Spray here, but on the off chance the opponent doesn't shield, we're going to throw the Scold. Of course, the opponent invests that Protect Shield, but regardless, we've got ourselves shield advantage, Quagman. I just powered up this Ferrathorn before I played these battles. In the moment, I was thinking, we're going to get a double resisted Bullet Seed farm down. I very quickly see these Bullet Seeds are doing absolutely nothing, so I'm forced to throw. We're going to throw the Power Whip. We're going to bank all of our residual energy, pivot into the Quagman, and of course the opponent's going to send out Wiggly. What else could they possibly have in the back? Out comes a stupid Marshmallow, and it's time for Quagman to cook. I build up to the harder hitting Stone Edge bait with the Aqua Tail. I very rarely bait on this channel. However, of course, using a Toxic Charmer, the opponent's going to shield the first move, looking to debuff our attack. The Quagman now looking for a good timing, which is 1, 4, and 7 all the way. The next Aqua Tail doesn't secure the knockout. The opponent throws a charge move. We've got 2 shields, so we may as well invest one here. We're going to shield up the Icy Wind, commit to the Mud Shot, farm down, and leave with the Aqua Tail. I'm quite low. I thought I wouldn't survive that smackdown, so I do instant throw, guaranteeing the damage. We actually do survive, and we pivot into Ferrathorn. The opponent should be in double Power Whip range. The opponent is going to have to look for the resisted smackdown farm down, but Ferrathorn isn't going to allow that to happen. It's going to be Jamie Finn 1, Toxic Team User nil. GG's and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see Dr. Beep Beep, the basic bitch tin can. I pivot into Tentacruel, which of course also loses to Reggie, drawing out Vic. So if you're going to use Tentacruel, don't do what I do, just throw the Acid Spray. If I Acid Sprayed here, I would have been able to take back Switch, but regardless, I'm a potato. We're going to take our shield advantage and look to sweep with Quagman. This Vic is so much lower than the one in the last battle, so we can send out Ferrathorn, and this time I am going to get the resisted Bullet Seed farm down. These were the very first battles I played. At this stage, I may as well be single moved on Tentacruel, so I just YOLO Skulls. I think later in the video, I do start recognising that sometimes Acid Spray is the way to go. But we've got distracted, so I threw the Thunder at Reggie. Some decent chip damage, pivoted it into the Quagman, shielded up the Focus Blast, and the opponent sends out Mew. Most Mews are on Surf and Wild Charge. The opponent only threw 5 Shadow Claws, and then a Charge move, so that is likely going to be the Surf, which it is. We throw the Stone Edge, sneaks through the Protect Shield, and we can now go straight Aqua Tail. The opponent lightly shields, not wanting Quag align with Reggie. We attempt to throw the next Aqua Tail, but unfortunately lose CMP. We're just going to let Quag go down. I'm going to send in Ferrathorn. I'm going to call the opponents on Surf and Wild Charge. So I'm not going to invest the Protect Shield here. The opponent throws the Wild Charge, debuffing their own defense. The opponent sends out Reggie, recognises with Protect Shield, the game's over, and concede the match. In the next battle, we see Sableye in the lead. This is a pretty neutral matchup. I'm going to shield the first move as the Shadow Claw Foul Play combination is going to leave us very low. We're then going to throw 1 Bullet Seed and the Power Whip. Power Whip force to Protect Shield. We're then going to throw the next move on alignment just to outpace. If the opponent shields this, I'm just going to sack Ferrathorn. If they would have actually tanked the damage, I would have pivoted into Tentacruel. The opponent is going to take me out with a Foul Play. We're going to send out the Quagman. Quagman can tank 1 move, so we're not going to shield this up. We're going to tank the move. We're then going to overfarm just a touch and look to get rid of them. I think this team works because we've essentially got 2 good cores. Ferrathorn Tentacruel make a good core, and also Quagman Tentacruel make a good core. Hence, I don't really care about losing a lead in certain situations. Of course, if they've got a grass type, which they do, Tentacruel covers Quagman's weaknesses. We correctly shield up the Shadow Ball. The opponent pivots out into a Zoomerall. They are so weak to Squidward in the back. We throw the Acid Spray. Acid Spray lands for decent damage, and now I'm going to full send the Scald with a lowered defense. I'm really hoping Scald knocks out Scald. Doesn't quite get the job done, but we do Poison Jab farm all the way down, back out. Comes Trevenant. We fire off the Scald. Scald lands for massive damage. We pivot into the Quagman, looking to force the energy. Seed Bomb secures the knockout, and 1 Poison Jab is going to be all she wrote. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, we see Superior in the lead. Pretty awkward, to be honest. We can only hit this thing for resisted. They can hit us for neutral. But Aerial Ace with non-same type attack bonus isn't all that bad. Of course, Quag doesn't want to see this thing, so we are going to stay in. You can see Power Whip is resisted, but we do get same type attack bonus, so it is the correct move to throw. When you play GBL, it's important to do some team reading to give yourself the best chance of winning. If you're going to lead a grass type, of course the opponent's going to have very hard fire type answers in the back, so we pivot into Tentacruel, and there's the first hard answer for fire in the form of Lantern. Finally, I decide to throw the Acid Spray, which means these Poison Jabs are going to do even more damage. The opponent gets super greedy, play to the CMP tie. They do not win. Shout out to Home Size Henry, and Tentacruel has got Lantern deep into the red and quad debuffed their defense. I've just woke up from night shift. My brain isn't working very well. It's definitely a quad debuff because Acid Spray applies a 2-stage debuff each time, and 2 + 2 is 4. We get there in the end. We send out Ferrathorn. We Bullet Seed farm down. I'm looking to save Ferrathorn as a third shield and send out Quagman. Unfortunately, the opponent manages to snipe with a lock-on as we're in 1 lock-on range, which is pretty brutal. We send out the Quagman. The key to victory here is going to be to have huge cojones, call the Zap Cannon. Not that that's really that necessary, but the key to victory is going to be to make sure we always have a lot of energy. Because we know that Superior will be coming back in at some stage, but there's certainly an Aqua Tail range. You're going to see I continue to farm up, keeping as much energy on myself as physically possible. I am forced to start shielding up Zap Cannons. The opponent shielded the first move, so they've only got 1 shield. So as long as I'm doubled up, when Superior comes back in, which it does, if the opponent shields the first move, you know the drill. The first one will force the Protect Shield, and the second one will be knocking them out. High Superior, by Superior. Quagman is a Superior counter confirmed. Not really, but we do manage to get the knockout, and we take that game. In the next battle, we see another core breaker. These counters hitting for super effective. We do resist all the charge moves. Of course, Tentacruel, which does resist counter, will take super effective from both Psycho Boost and Thunderbolt. We land the Power Whip, we pivot into Tentacruel. I'm going to shield the first move, which would do the most damage if the opponent goes for the back-to-back Psycho Boost. Psycho Boost lowers your attack by 2 stages. You can see the second one doesn't do all that much damage. The opponent doesn't really have a great Tentacruel answer. They send out Dugong. We throw the Skull, which of course does do a lot more than Acid Spray, and of course has a 30% chance to lower their attack. We're already down 1 Protect Shield, so the opponent can easily throw a Drill Run, securing the knockout. We can send out Ferrathorn here. Our steel grass typing does take neutral from ice, but we've got respectable bulk. We tank the icy wind not particularly well, and we're going to reach the power whip. Power whip secures the knockout. We're going to spam out into the Quag. However, down a protect shield, sweeping this endgame is going to be very problematic. We send out Quag. The opponent's final Pokemon is Mandibuzz. Holy crap, this is a bulky team. We essentially need a miracle at this stage to win this matchup. Of course, we're going to full send the Stone Edge, hoping to sneak it through 2 protect shields. Does the opponent respect the damage? Of course they do, and we're now in shambles. We're even now going to be forced to shield off an Aerial Ace. We've still got Ferrathorn as a potential third shield. Again, I'm not going to bait. Please don't shield Trainer. Ugh. Of course they shield the next Stone Edge. This team doesn't really make too much sense from the opponent. They're triple weak to Charger Bug, which is actually quite common in this meta. But it is what it is. This team beats my team. We go for the Aqua Tail, go for an Undercharge. Look to Bullet Seed farm down, which doesn't happen, and we are going to take a loss. GG's to that opponent. Heading into the next battle, we see Ferrathorn into Skarmory. We're a grass type, and the opponent is a steel type. This isn't a bad matchup due to the thunder coverage. This matchup is actually against my friend Casey. He knows I don't bait, so I think I definitely could have sneaked a bait in there. However, a bait is super risky, and when I play someone I know, I don't change my play style. I force a protection with the first Thunder, YOLO Thunder number 2, and Casey actually double shields. I messaged him after this matchup. He said he didn't know the Bullet Seed Thunder counts, and we actually managed to get off yet another Thunder. I then looked to snipe with Tentacruel. However, he actually anticipates that, throws a charge move, so he is now going to be able to save Skarmory. He then sends out Lantern. I'm just going to do as much damage as I physically can. We're going to throw the Scald. Scald isn't going to do too much damage. With the residual poison jabs, it does put him down to around half health, and we manage to get the CMP. He full sends the Thunderbolt. We can now send in the Quagman. I'm just going to continue to farm up and look to get as much energy as I physically can. A lot of people are like, should you run Aqua Tail or should you run Mud Bomb? I pause a turn there. I full send the Stone Edge as Aqua Tail wouldn't actually knock out despite him being in the red. We managed to secure the knockout. Quagman has residual energy, good to go, and out comes Wiggly. I'm going to throw the Aqua Tail. One Aqua Tail and a Stone Edge, essentially knockout. We throw in the middle of the charm animation. Stone Edge will secure the knockout. Skarmory is so low. We're going to get the Soromor KO. I've still got a Pokemon alive. I'm going to take that game. In the next battle, we see Deja Vu. Again, we're going to full send the Thunder. I think this matchup is hilarious that we actually force Protect Shields. The game, being pretty crappy, forced me to overtap. Whatever, it is what it is. We still send the Thunder regardless, forcing a Protect Shield. Again, we're going to send another Thunder. Does the opponent respect the damage? Why is everyone 2-shielding Skarmory? The opponent banks all that energy. We pivot into Tentacruel, again drawing out Lantern. Is this going to be the same team? Did someone make a Skarmory, Lantern, Wigglytuff video? I have no idea as I avoid Great League like the plague. This opponent throws the Surf, anticipating me shielding up Tentacruel, but I've got no intentions of doing that. This is now going to force the opponent to throw yet more energy. We're now going to send out the Quagman. I think I definitely should shield this move up in case there's a Wiggly in the back, but we're going to play it risky. We tank the Surf. If they've got a Charmer, I think I'm in huge trouble. The opponent not wanting to get Mudshot farmed all the way down, send out Skarmory. We're going to shield at the Sky Attack, return fire with the Stone Edge. One Stone Edge and one Aqua Tail essentially should be close to knocking out. I'm hoping this Aqua Tail knocks out. I'll be honest, I've lost track of their energy, so we snipe with Ferrathorn. Let's see what's in the back. It isn't Wiggly, it's Clod. Oof, have I just thrown this matchup? If the opponent's smart, they're going to look to Mudshot farm me all the way down, and then they can double Earthquake Quag. I'm really hoping that isn't possible, but you can see Ferrathorn rapidly running out of HP. Oof, I'm in shambles. There is zero reason to bait here. However, Wincon is calling the bait. The opponent does give me a Wincon. We can now shield up the next move. And then as soon as I see Lantern come in, I'm just going to hit the Aqua Tail. As there only one spark off the charge move. Back out. Comes Lantern. Aqua Tail is going to get the job done. And despite me playing like an absolute potato, we're going to pick up the dub. Heading into the next battle. We see Quagsire in the lead. This isn't too bad for us, to be honest. We take neutral from everything they throw, and they take neutral from everything we throw. We throw 5 Bullet Seeds and the Power Whip for optimal fast move timing, and that does so much damage, Shadow and Shadow Crime. Bullet Seed is the most fast move pressure we've got into Quagsire, as due to their ground typing, they're going to resist Poison Jab, and due to their flying typing, they're going to resist Mud Shots. We just force the energy, send out Tentacruel. Tentacruel now can Poison Jab farm down before they even reach another move, and out comes Annihilate. I think this is another opportunity. I could easily throw an acid spray, but of course I full send the Scald, guaranteeing the shield or the damage. We also get the attack drop. That now means we're just going to save 2 shields for Quag. The opponent throw the Shadow Ball, which doesn't get the job done. We saw him will then swap. We got Quagman up a Protect Shield into Skarmory. As I've got shield advantage, we're going to throw the Stone Edge first. Stone Edge lands for big damage, and now we're going to go straight Aqua Tail. We're going to respect the potential Brave Bird. The opponent actually full send, which definitely means they're going to be in Aqua Tail range. We farm up, throw the Aqua Tail on the CMPs. Our Aqua Tail goes unshielded, and that is going to be game over. We're just going to need to reach 3 Aqua Tails. The opponent has a Protect Shield, so 1 will force the shield, and 2 will do enough damage to knock out. We land the first. We're going to shield at the Night Slash. Even a boost won't save him, so we just double up. This Aqua Tail will be forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield, and the second one is going to be all she wrote. GG's, and thanks for playing. Hashtag Quagman's the best mud boy in the Great League. Heading into the next battle. We see Altaria in the lead. We do resist the Dragon Breath, but they double resist our Bullet Seas, which isn't fantastic. However, I really like Ferrathorn, because we do have flyer coverage with that Thunder. You can see Thunder does around 45%. 2 won't be lethal. However, it will put them into a range where we can farm down. We tank the Sky Attack Return Fire with the next Thunder, forcing a Protect Shield, so I pivot into my Say Switch of Squidward. This opponent's fast move timing hasn't been particularly good. They've given me 2 sneaks, so I think I can shield up the Sky Attack, Poison Jab farm all the way down, and Squidward now has so much energy. The opponent sends out Metachan. What is this? Season 1 or something? Altaria and Metachan were really common in the early seasons. If you had access to both of them, you'd essentially hit rank 10. I'm looking to hunt these toxic teams, and the opponent is very weak to Charm. They're even on power-up punch as well. Interesting. We're able to reach the Acid Spray on the CMPs. Our Acid Spray won't be lethal, but does put them into Mud Shot farm down range. Let's see what their second move is. The opponent's on Ice Punch. Ice Punch doesn't knock out. We pivot into the Quagman, and this really is a really early team. What is going on? Azumarill, Metachan, Altaria. This is like pre-season or season 1 to 4. It's funny to see, but I don't think it's all that good in this sort of meta. The ABA weak to Charm, and they're also pretty weak to Vic in the back. We've got distracted, but that's because this game's pretty much unlosable now. We've got 3 Pokemon remaining. The opponent throws the Ice Beam. Quagman is going to be able to Mud Shot farm down, leave with the Aqua Tail. We're not even going to hit any bubbles because the opponent has literally no HP, and we're going to pick up the dub. GG's to that opponent. The last battle, we saw a really old school team, and in the next battle, we see 2 trainers using new Pokemon. Of course, Ferrathorn, a pretty new Shadow, and Gallade has recently been buffed. We farm up, throw the Power Whip, the opponent's over farming, and they can just have the bush. Enjoy yourself, trainer. They full send the close combat, securing the knockout. We now send out Tentacruel. The opponent forced to reset their debuff, sending out Charger Bug. We're of course going to answer with Quagman. We got off 1 Poison Jab, and that extra Poison Jab is actually going to mean that 1 Stone Edge will be lethal. We full send the Stone Edge. Stone Edge secures the knockout. Back up comes Gallade, and we're able to reach the Aqua Tail as we overfarmed. Aqua Tail forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. Gallade essentially shields everything. We've now got a 2 to no shield advantage. You can have Quag as well. We're going to put it all on the Squid. Leaf Blade is one of the best moves in the game. 35 energy for 70 damage. As is Shadow and Shadow Chrome, I am going to respect it with a Protect Shield, and the opponent sends out the Penguin. One of my favourite Pokemon, to be honest, but with shield advantage, we're sitting in a good spot. Of course, we was using Empoleon yesterday, the Master League Premier Cup, and I even said Drill Peck is quite underwhelming. You can see I don't even need to respect the damage. We fire off the next Scald. We're going to be able to resist it. Poison Jab down the Penguin. Poison Jab farm down Gallade, and take that game. In the next battle, our target has been acquired. I pause a turn, anticipating the opponent trying to catch a Power Whip onto perhaps Metachan. We hold our energy, send out Quag, and that toxic team says no thank you and instantly concede the match. My god, was that satisfying. In the next battle, we see Azumarill in the lead. Of course, we've got an even better answer for Azumarill, not that the opponent probably expects it. The Say Switch of Sableye can be a bit of a problem. So we go for the Chip and Dip. The opponent invests the Protection. I remember this battle. You see there, I hit the Aqua Tail. I actually over-tap, which means the opponent's 1 ahead of what I expect them to be. This battle so pissed me off. It's unbelievable. Niantic, please fix this game. The Sableye counts the foul play. Our 6-6 then 5. So my count is off by 1. I throw 4 Mud Shots, looking to throw 1 quick move before the next foul play and end up CMP tying like a potato. What should be a pretty good matchup. We've now managed to get ourselves in a shambolic position. I instantly pivot into Ferrathorn, Knowing I'm going to draw out the third, which at least is going to mean that Tentacruel is going to be aligned against Azumarill in the endgame. Out comes Altaria. Of course, if I didn't CMP tie Sableye, I'd still have a Protect Shield to hide behind, and this would be an easy win. Sky Attack isn't going to knock out. We're not going to reach a Thunder, so we just settle for the Power Whip, which is double resisted, looking to get off some chip damage. I'm going to wait out my clock. The hardest move left in the game will be the Sky Attack, so despite me being very tilted, in the moment of battle, stay in school, kids, and learn to count. We're going to catch back onto the Quagman. I know a lot of people get tilted at this game, myself included. I was really annoyed at that game. However, you've got to try and keep a cool head, so I was continuing to count Altaria's move. We managed to make the catch, and now from there, using Quag as the third shield, we're going to pick up the dub. The opponent throws the play rough. We're going to poison jab farm Azumarill all the way down, leave with the Scald. I managed to pick up the dub. I made that so much more complicated than I needed to, but regardless, we're going to take that game. In the next battle, we see Mantine in the lead. This Pokemon's pretty tricky for all of our team. However, we've got Thunder, which would be double super effective, so it'd be very nice if we can YOLO it and land it through 2 Protect Shield. There is no baiting. Does the opponent respect the damage? Oh, of course they do. We have got shield advantage, but this Mantine is almost at full health. We tank the next Aerial Ace. There's no point in letting them wing attack farm down, so we're going to pivot into Squidward. Aerial Ace isn't the best move, but we are a Shadow Pokemon, so the combination of that Aerial Ace and the wing attacks have already got us down below half health. We throw the Skull, but Mantine, insanely thick Skull, just isn't going to get the job done. We can't Mud Shot farm down from here, so I'm going to invest the Protect Shield. The opponent not wanting to get farmed down, send out Wish Daddy Cash. They're able to reach the Mud Bomb on the CMP tie. We're going to put it all on Quag. So we're going to send out the Quagman. We're going to farm up, look to catch the Scald, back onto Ferrathorn, saving our Protect Shield. Of course, Scald will secure the knockout. So base stats for Quag and Whiscash. If you put them on PV Poke, we've got a 111 attack and they've got a 108. So in theory, we should win CMP. But you can see we actually lose the CMP tie. Although, to be honest, Aquatail won't knock out from this range anyway. We are going to throw it. I should be able to Mud Shot farm down afterwards. However, the opponent not wanting to get farmed down, send out Gligar, and then we just cannot win this game. So I'm just going to top left before the opponent reaches the dig. GG's that opponent. In the next battle, we see Ferrathorn into Empoleon. The opponent safe switches into Annihilate, and I answer with Tentacruel. I'm going to respect the Shadow Ball, and the opponent bait with the Night Slash. With that in mind, fuck this guy. I'm going to bait back. We throw the Acid Spray, forcing a Protect Shield in return. I'll be honest, that little cheeky Master Bait felt pretty good, as I'm tired of everyone shielding my nukes. This time, I don't even build up to the Scald. I just want to apply the debuff effect. The opponent clearly needs to go to school, learn to count. They shield up a move. I didn't even have the energy for the Scald. We'll take our 2-0 shield advantage. I'm going to send out the Quagman. The opponent has enough for a Shadow Ball, but Quagman can tank one, and we're going to be able to Mud Shot farm down afterwards. We've got a shield advantage. We send out Ferrathorn, and the opponent answers with Trevenant. So we should be in a good spot to clean up. Ferrathorn is going to be able to 2-shot this thing with the Power Whip. We throw 1 Bullet Seed and the Power Whip. Again, we're going to look to 1 and throw. But if the opponent's smart, they're going to throw 1 Shadow Claw and make the catch. Jamie, you need to be better. However, you can see the opponent is going to be forced to throw. And they instant throw. I'm looking at the health. I'm thinking, if I Mud Shot farm down, I win. So, of course, we're just going to commit to the Mud Shot farm down. The opponent dies at the next charge move. We leave with a Stone Edge, and the opponent is going to concede the match. In the next battle, we see Frostlass in the lead. I'm going to anticipate the opponent throwing a good timing, so I'm going to look to throw the Power Whip, and then I was planning to instant switch. We both throw an alignment like absolute potatoes. Well, not really potato, it is what it is. We tank the Avalanche Return Fire with the Power Whip, and then pivot into Squidward, drawing out Nidoqueen. The opponent already down 1 Protect Shield, so we're going to full send the Scald. Scald forces the opponent's final Protect Shield. And you already know I'm putting it all on Quag, as it's going to be no grass, no problem. The opponent full send the Earth Power, nuking me through 2 Protect Shields, but you can have it. It's Quag time. I could, of course, throw the Aquatail before the opponent potentially reaches an Earth Power, but why would I do that? I want all the energy in the world. We correctly shield the Earth Power. We're then going to farm up, pause a turn, ensuring the opponent doesn't make the catch. Aquatail, gonna secure the knockout. Get that Nidoqueen off my screen. The opponent's final Pokemon is for Alligator. Stay in school, kids. Learn to count. We'll catch the Hydro Cannon back onto Ferrathorn, and Quagman now smelling blood. We're gonna full send the Stone Edge. The opponent can catch regardless. Stone Edge is what I want to throw. Stone Edge lands for huge damage. Back out comes Frostlass. We overfarm. Fire off the Stone Edge. High Frostlass. Bye Frostlass. We leave with the Aquatail, and Quagman puts the stamp of authority, reminding you all who's the best mud boy in the Great League. GG's, and thanks for playing. So those were some of my first battles in the Open Great League in like 4 seasons, which is over a year. My gameplay wasn't the cleanest, but I think this team is so much fun. If, like me, you get really tilted losing the toxic teams, give this one a try for yourself. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, link to battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.